My name is Caelen, a stray dog who sold himself off. The buyer was Lady Portia, Countess, Rose family bloodline. One condition, I had to be deaf and mute. So I played both, and I became her lawful husband. Simple deal. She gave me money and protection. I was decoration. I didn't have a choice. My little sister Aria was 16. Sick, the kind of sick that costs a fortune. The medicine wasn't for people like us. Only nobles could afford it. Wedding night, candles low. Portia scribbled 3 lines on a note and shoved it in my face.
I'm putting on a show for my ma. I ain't into guys. You're the dog I bought. Stay in your lane.
She pulled me onto the bed for the performance. Her mother, Lady Caterina, held the real power in the household. Every visit, the same agenda, pressing us for an heir, Caelen, looking me up and down like live dock at auction.
Are you even capable?
Portia kept her face soon, wrote on the note. Church medical ruling. He's impotent. We're seeking treatment. Disgust flickered through Caterina's eyes, like I was something the dog had dragged in. That night I slept in the kennel. One thought eating at me. Was this all my life would ever be? The second her mother left, Portia dropped the act. The meal didn't suit her? Silver platter to my face.
You're worth less than my horse.
I slept on cold stone, not even a pelt. To her, I was below a rat.
Hey, baby. You at the Silver Swan Inn? Wait for me.
The Silver Swan, the most notorious tryst spot in the city. Something twisted made me follow her. I tucked into a narrow alley. Watched her step out with a stunning red-haired woman wrapped around her arm. I tucked into a narrow alley. The woman pressed a soft kiss to her cheek. Not a man. A woman. My wife had been into women all along. I dragged myself back to the castle like a beaten hound. Rage and humiliation burnt through me, and I couldn't say a single word about it. Trapped in the role of the mute. A few days later, she dropped a parchment scroll at my feet. Note attached. Show my ma. The church checked you out. You're born messed up. Can't have no kids ever. Tell them you're getting treatment good and hard. I picked it up. Forged seal. Falsified statement. Congenital defect. Permanent infertility. The words seared into my skin. The last shred of my dignity burned to ash. She watched me cold. Indifferent. Pleased with her little project. Endure it? To hell with that. Portia, you've made a mistake. My blade was never dull. My seed was never dead. You said I was broken? Portia threw a fake infertility certificate at me. Old me to play the pity card. Said she'd buy my sister's medicine if I pulled it off. I bit my tongue and took it. When Caetiana showed up, I played my part like a real damn universe. Groaning, praying, pretending to get treatment. She looked at me like I was a piece of shit, cursed me out, said the Rose family was almost ruined because of me. The second she left, Portona tossed me a coin purse. Note, hush money for your bruised pride. I held those cold gold coins. My chest was breaking apart. Did I have any pride left in her eyes at all? That night was when I finally snapped. Porta brought her red-haired mistress, Sophia, home. Wrapped around her in the front hall. Walked her up the stairs. Into our first place.
He's just a useless mutt I bought. Who cares if he sees?
I stood outside the door. I could hear the bed creaking. The two of them laughing. I clenched my fists till they bled.
Galler's forcing me to go back. I run the north.
I lost my nerve. This woman was darker and crueler than I'd thought. I crawled back downstairs like a beaten stray. Next day, they set me up. Said I'd stolen Sophia's necklace. Portia slapped me across the face. Each word cut.
If you live off stolen coin, your sister dies slow.
I shoved past them and ran out of the castle. Then I thought of Arya and dragged myself back, found the necklace stuck in the bed frame, thought I could prove I didn't take it. Portia just wrote.
This time, I'll let it slide.
She labeled me a thief. Permanently. The truth didn't matter to her. To her, I was born to be scum. The rage burned through every last scrap of patience I had left. No more pretending. I sketched the two of them kissing outside the inn that night, paid a courier, sent it straight to Katerina. That evening, Portinha came home. Katerina was in the great chair, face like thunder. I stood off to the side, head down, then slowly let a sly little smile creep across my face.
Portia! Did you really bring that shameless horn into your marriage bed again?
Portia caught cheating. Mother and daughter blew up in the great hall.
If you don't produce a grandson within a year, I disown you.
Portia got beaten down by it. She stormed upstairs in a rage, kicked me in the gut, slapped me twice across the face. The old me would have taken it. Watching her come unhinged like that, I actually laughed.
What the hell are you laughing at?
Daggers in her eyes. I wrote it out. I'm just the neutered dog you bought. It's only reetin' broken mutt for the boss to beat his dogs. It's the way of things. A dog only gets to laugh. He doesn't get to cry. Her face went dark with rage. She snapped that I was lower than a stray. Slammed the door. Gone. That's when I figured out the game. In public, keep playing the broken puss otter. Behind closed doors, I'd be her worst nightmare. That same night, Sophia showed up again. I eavesdropped and almost lost it. They were hunting whoever had drawn that picture of them.
While I was gone?
They suspected an old creep named Tarlin who ran a brothel. Thank the gods. Not me. A few days later, poor Lola got a message. Her face went stone cold. She slipped out with a dagger hidden on her. I tailed her the whole way. She got cornered by Tarvin in a private booth at the Blood and Sand fighting arena. The old creep forced spiked wine into her and started groping her.
All that fancy training? Useless.
Get your hands off her, you sick bastard!
Grabbed a wine bottle, smashed it across Tarvin's skull, blood everywhere. I slung half-vanctionist Portia over my shoulder and got us out. We holed up in an abandoned mill. When she came to, her voice was softer than I'd ever heard it.
Who are you?
Joker. My name's Joker. I rasped it out, then turned and vanished quick into the dark. Got home and stashed the mask. Portia came back in the middle of the night, kicked me square in the gut, and told me to get the hell out. Like always, I played the obedient dog, but when I was eavesdropping, I heard Sophia ask her who saved her. Portia stayed quiet for a long time, then said she didn't know who it was.
But I didn't hate him. He actually reminded me of my old man. Made me feel safe.
But she didn't hate him. Said he actually reminded her of her old man. Made her feel safe. I almost laughed my damn head off out in the hallway. That smell she liked? It was horse shit and rust from me. I'm your goddamn husband! Next day, I took a janitor job at Blood and Sand to lay low. Then one afternoon, my boss told me to clean the VIP lounge on the 3rd floor. I pushed the door open, and my brain shut down. My mother-in-law, Katerina. Shit. What was she doing here? Sharon, private room manager, rounded up the staff to work as masked escorts. Drink and chat with rich, noble ladies. I grabbed a dog mask. Thought I was safe. I walked into the room and almost had a heart attack. Katerina was sitting right there. Drunk out of Katerina's mind. She lifted a lazy finger straight at me.
I'll take this loyal little dog. My lady, he's mute. Mute is perfect. Quiet. I want him.
No way out. I had to stay. Her friend left for the next room with a man in a lion mask. The flirty moans kicked in immediately. It was just me and a dead drunk Katerina. She stood up, swagging, and leaned right into me, pushing me into the dark back room and shut the door. Katerina suddenly pulled the mask off. Drunk, she muddled if I was feeling stuffy, and there it went, the mask, hitting the floor. The light in the room fell right on my pale, frozen face. Dead silence.
You? Caelen?
A scream, a slap. My whole face went noom. You disgusting piece of trash. She scribbled and shoved a note in my face. Breathe a word of this to anyone, and you and your dying sister disappear. Get out. Don't ever let me see your face again. I bolted. Sharon slipped me some coin on the way out, totally confused.
Lady Katerina has never acted like this with anyone.
I stared at the money. Fear and frustration tangled. I shoved it in my pocket and ran back to the castle. The second I stepped inside, the air was wrong. Katerina and Portia were sitting in the great hall, stone cold, both of them murderous. Porcilla saw me and came at me like an animal. Hit me harder this time. Snatched my notebook and wrote,
Now you're not just mute and useless. You're a cheap whore too?
Catalina's voice was ice.
Broken, worthless freak. Should have thrown you out long ago.
Portia lost it.
Kneel. Beg me to forgive you, or I tear up our contract and put you and your dying sister out on the street.
Kneel. Beg. What had I actually done wrong? You people drove me to this. You never treated me like a human being. Her mother is the one who pulled me into a back room and put her hands on me, then attacked me for it. Every bit of pain and anger detonated at once. When Portia raised her hand to strike me again, I moved. I drove my forehead straight into her chest. She crashed to the floor. I didn't look back. I ran straight out of that cursed castle. I tore through the cold wind. Burning. Fine. You want to treat me like a rabid dog? I'll teach you what a dog's bite feels like. A cruel plan formed in my head. If we were already enemies, I was going to play this dirty. I used Sharon's coin to buy a vials of dream haze, the kind that fogs the mind, leaves you weak, desperate. Portia, you love calling me useless. You hate the thought of me touching you. Perfect. I'm going to touch you, and I'm going to make you carry my child. Late that night, I snuck back into the castle, slipped into her bedchamber. She was in the bath. I crept in, dumped the entire vial into her water cup, stirred it clear, and crawled under her bed. She finished her bath, came back, drank the cup down. A few minutes, her breathing went heavy. She tossed in the sheets. Quiet, needy little sounds. The drug was working. After a while, her movements slowed. This was my chance. I crawled out from under the bed, slow, stood over the bed. Moonlight on the woman who'd ground me under her boot for months. She was lying there defenseless, nightgown half undone, skin exposed, her face flushed from the drug, lips parted, fragile, and dangerous. I swallowed. Hatred. The thrill of payback. Pure, burning lust. Every doubt I had got wiped out. My hands were shaking, but I knew exactly what I was doing. My hands were on Porlia. She was supposed to be drugged senseless. I reached for her. I touched her. Then her eyes snapped open. My hands were on Porlia. She was supposed to be drugged senseless. Then her eyes snapped open. She pulled a small blade from under her pillow, drove it into me. Pain and shock, then nothing. Portia lost it. I came to tied to a chair.
Good call warning me. This piece of trash actually tried to drug me. Lucky I had the blade ready.
Cold smile. She picked up her riding cup, started in on me.
Trash! Animal! Worthless cur!
Each lash split my skin. I bit down. Didn't make a sound. Half an hour, she kicked me to the floor. Taped my mouth shut with alchemist tape. Tied me to the foot of her bed. Went to sleep. 2 days. 2 nights. No food. No water. My comm crystal kept flashing on the floor. My sister was blowing up my line. I was dying inside. I couldn't move. Day 3. Portolia came back, dumped a bucket of dirty horse water on me to wake me up.
Filthy dog. So desperate you drink horse slop.
She cut my ropes, left a note, "Try that again and I kill you." I collapsed, crawled to the bucket, drank it, ate scraps off the floor, grabbed my crystal, dozens of emergency messages from my sister and the nun. Arya's blood plague had flared up, heavy bleeding, almost died. No coin, no signature, treatment was on hold. Looking at my sister's pale little face on the screen, my heart broke clean in half. Portia's chains had almost killed my baby sister. To scrape together the medical bill, I bit down everything, crawled back to Rose Mannon, wrote a long apology, cried, called myself worthless. Portia read it and scoffed.
At least you know what you are.
She wrote, 500 extra gold this month for her medicine. I swallowed every last shred of pride and begged for 50,000 to save my sister. She wrote back, fine, kneel, call me master. I dropped to my knees on the cold stone, bowed, held up my crystal and spelled out the word, master. Portla pressed her boot under my chin, smiled, pleased with herself. I can bend, I will not break. Every dirty thing you've done, I'll pay back tenfold. My opening came faster than I expected. That night, Sophia came over crying again, said Tarvin wouldn't leave her alone.
Already handled. The City Watch is raiding Blood and Sam tonight for illegal contraband.
I stood outside the door, heart racing. A wild plan came together. Was going to flip. Tip Tarfer off about Portia's move. I watched Portia and Sophia walk into Blood and Sound and take a corner table. They were there to enjoy the show. Soon the watch horns blared. A squad of guards rushed in, claiming a tip about contraband.
Portia leaned forward, barely hiding her excitement.
The guards tore the place apart, found nothing. The second they left, Portia's face went black, pure shock. I was hidden in the shadows. I couldn't stop grinning. Nothing felt better than watching her fall flat. This was just the start. I was going to make her fail, over and over, until she broke. I was already planning the next blow when Portla's eyes locked right on me, like she'd just marked her prey. Tarvin promoted me at Blood and Sand. The other workers got jealous. Walking home one night after my shift, somebody threw a sack over my head, beat me half to death. Drake, deputy watch captain, he was running the crew. I thought I was dead. Then there was fighting. Drake and his men ran like cowards. They yanked the sack off my head. The one who'd saved me was a woman. Plain white dress. Silver moon mask. Cold and beautiful as a painting.
Are you the mute knight?
The mysterious woman's first sentence sent a chill straight to my bones. She asked me if I was the mute knight. Was I exposed? Could she be one of Portia's people? I was scared out of my damn mind, but then she told me not to be afraid. She didn't want to expose me, she just saved me on a whim. That one line crushed every shred of pride I'd been building up. She was right. I was still a bug to be stepped on. Thank you. Thank you. I mumbled a thank you. As she turned to go, her name slipped out of me before I could think.
You're the same age. Drop the formality. You're weak. Don't hate yourself for it. You don't need my name. We won't meet again.
Goodbye for good. I'm just a bug she pokes at when she's bored. I watched her walk toward that star carriage pulled by 4 white horses, feeling all kinds of messed up inside. Right before getting in, she suddenly turned back and told me, "Don't ask why I helped you. I'm just bored and want to see how long you'll last." Then she added she'd help me one more time, told me to get close to Sophia and Leonard, said it'd do me good. Her words wouldn't leave my head. I asked around. Found Leonard. Captain of the Night Watch. Scarred face. One eye. Quiet as stone. I also saw Sophia again at Blood and Sand. She was the new headline act now. They called her the Phantom Performer. One day Tarvin called me into his office, handed me a hotel key with a note. I set you up with a girl, one of a kind, drives men insane. Don't waste it. Record everything on your memory crystal. Don't disappoint me. That last line was a threat. I already knew who it was. I pushed the hotel door open. Sophia. On the bed. Thin shift. Drunk and dazed. My stomach dropped. Yeah, it was her. Tarvin was playing both sides. If I touched Porlia's lover, he'd humiliate Pornia and blackrail Sophia and me with the footage. If I refused, he'd throw me to the wolves. Looking at defenseless Sophia. Honestly, I never hated her. She'd even stood up for me once. And the masked woman's voice was still in my head. Get Sophia on your side. Protect her. I betray Tarvin. Lose everything I've gained. Go through with it. I earn his trust. Get blackmail material on Portia's lover. I was being torn in half. Sophia woke up. Saw me. Froze. Curled up in pure terror. I wrote fast. Tarvin is making me record this. We have to fake the whole thing. She was terrified. Calmed down fast. Bit her lip and nodded. Fake action. Real footage. I wrote it out. She got it. We started the act. Struggling. Tussling. She screamed and cried on cue. I played the deaf muth who couldn't hear her. Tore her shift open. Aimed the memory crystal for the angles. Her acting was incredible. I almost bought it myself. Kept it up for half an hour. I helped her out of the room with my arm around her. Her winnering soft couldn't tell what was real. Drake was waiting in the hallway, came to verify the footage. My hands shook as I handed the crystal over. Drake watched. The grin on his face turned creepy. I thought we were clear. Then he grabbed Sophia.
Even a mute gets a turn. Why can't I?
He tried to drag her back into the room. His hand went for her clothes. Every bit of rage I'd been swallowing for weeks blew at once, the masked woman's words, Sophia covering for me, every beating Drake had given me. I couldn't hold it back anymore. I grabbed a heavy brass candlestick off the wall, smashed it into the back of his skull. Crack. Blood everywhere. Drake's eyes went wide. He dropped. Shit. I might have just killed a man. Sophia was the first to recover, grabbed my arm, pulled me into a run. I collapsed on her couch, shaking head to toe. She handed me a glass of water and wrote, I always thought you were springless. Turns out you've actually got something in you. I looked up at her, tear streaks still on her face, buttons broken on her shift, collarbone exposed, and something complicated in her eyes. I left her place panicked. Better to beg for mercy than wait for Tarvin to hunt me. I dropped to my knees in front of him at Blood and Sand, bowed, apologized over and over. Said I'd let Sophia go because I was afraid Portia would retaliate. Said I was thinking long-term, gain her trust, become a long-term spy on Porlia for him. Tarvin listened, squinted, wrote,
Smart. As long as Sophia keeps her mouth shut, we let it slide. Then his face went cold.
But Drake, you cracked his skull. He was my man. We follow street rule. 4 men burst in. One had a heavy meat cleaver. The other 3 pinned my hands flat on the table. Lose a hand. Minimum. I was shaking my head. No, no, he added. You're useful, so I'll cut you a deal. Sign 100,000 gold note for Drake's compensation. I smoothed it over. 100,000. The blade was over my pinky. I had no choice. I signed, pressed my thumbprint, lied that the debt was for my sister's medical bills. Now I knew. I was his puppet. He even said he'd cut off a finger! I struggled in terror, but they prised me down hard. The cold blade pressed against my left pinky. I shut my eyes in despair. It's Madame Sharon, leaning against the doorframe, makeup flawless.
Lord Tarvlin, ease up. That boy makes his living with his hands. Take his fingers and you push him over the edge.
But her eyes are sharp as knives, fixed right on Talvin.
Right when I'd given up, Madame Sharon pushed the door open.
Lord Tarvlin, stop messing around. This boy makes his living with his fingers. Cripple his hands and you take his only way to survive.
She called me her little brother, said a high-paying client had specifically asked for me, someone even Tarvin wouldn't cross. In the end, Tarvin gave her the courtesy. But she had to drink with him later that night. Sharon led me out, gave me an address, said there really was a client who'd asked for me by name. I showed up nervous, found a luxury manor. I pushed the front door open. 3 noble ladies were sitting in the parlor playing cards. I spotted one of them and my whole world stopped. My mother-in-law, Katerina. She saw me. Her face went ice-cold instantly. The one who'd booked me was Lady Yun, the friend Karina had been with last time.
Katerina, this is the mute dog mask knight from before. I called him here just for you. How are you going to thank me?
Katerina's face went ice-cold as she kicked me out, telling the other noble women to keep playing cards. But the other 2 ladies were curious. They'd heard about the mute knight, thought I was safe and entertaining, made me stay. I stood behind Lady Yun, mortified. Every time she won a hand, she stuffed coin into my pocket and squeaked. Katerina's stare could have flayed me. A few rounds in, Lady Yun said she needed a break, grabbed my arm, started pulling me toward a private room. Out of nowhere, Katerina shot to her feet, yanked me to her side. Every lady at the table froze. In front of all of them, Katerina pulled me close by the waist and dragged me into the nearest room. The door locked behind us.
You disgusting trash!
Then she slapped me hard across the face. After cursing me out, she scribbled on her notepad, "Get out, make some excuse and leave. I can't stand the sight of you." I nodded like a beaten stray. The second I stepped outside the room, Lady Yun blocked my path.
Katerina, sending him away so soon? What's wrong? Afraid the ladies might find out he's your mute son-in-law?
Katerina went deathly pale, and Lady Yun laughed, triumphant. Turned out she and the other 2 had set this up together. They'd recorded the whole thing on their crystal, the mother-in-law calling her own mute son-in-law to serve her, and were planning to blackmail Katerina with it. Watching Katerina get cornered like that, rage burned through me. I couldn't stand there and let her get destroyed. Her downfall was tied to mine. I rushed forward, before Lady Yin could react, slapped her across the face with everything I had. Smack. The whole room froze. I grabbed the stunned Katerina's arm and bolted out of the manor. We ran and ran. The world was ours. We took her 4-horse carriage, dead silence the whole ride. She didn't even hold the reins, just stared straight ahead, her chest rising and falling with rage. I didn't dare look at her. My palms were drenched. After a long, quiet stretch, she picked up her quill, wrote a single line on parchment, held it up in front of me.
Caelen, you're not broken. You're perfectly capable of carrying on the bloodline, aren't you?
My stomach hit the floor. She knew. She'd known the whole time. Every bit of humiliation, every torture. She'd seen through it all. Katerina took the reins and drove us off. Heavy silence in the carriage. She wrote on parchment with her quill, "Caelen, you're no broken failure. You're a real knight. You can father heirs. Tell me the truth." I hesitated a long time. After what she'd just been through, cornered, humiliated, blackmail bait, I made up my mind. I wrote the whole truth out. I'm completely normal. Portia lied to you. The whole marriage was a fake contract. Katerina read it, sighed heavy, wrote back that she would handle Portia, told me not to worry, then ordered me out of the carriage. I wandered the streets. Drake, Tarvin, Lady Young, Portia, any one of them could kill me without breaking a sweat. Drowning in it, I remembered the masked woman's advice. Get Sophia on your side. I went straight to Sophie's loft. Just before I climbed the stairs, I heard her arguing with someone. I ducked into the shadows. The man's name is Gawick, blonde, handsome, dressed like nobility. He begged Sophia, saying planting her near Portia was a last resort, that he's always loved her. I was struck dumb. Sophia isn't a lesbian? She's a spy this man planted to watch Portia? Who the hell is Portia to be watched this closely? When I saw she was about to lose, I didn't think. Grabbed a heavy wooden club from the corner.
Get your hands off her!
I slammed into Caelen, knocked him off her. He stared at me. Pure shock. Sophia froze too. When she realized it was me, her eyes filled with something complicated. Caelen recovered fast. Cold, hateful eyes scanned me up and down. I gripped the club, stood between him and her, heart pounding. I didn't back down. I swung the club at him. He ducked easily.
You think you can touch me?
Tackled me to the ground. Started beating me.
Stop it! He's deaf and mute. He can't hear you.
You think I'd believe that? Sophia tried to tell him I was deaf and mute. He didn't buy it. Accused us of sleeping together behind his back.
Actually, I kinda like him.
Sophia said that just to piss him off. Told him she kinda likes me now. That set Gawik off. He started beating me harder, aiming to kill.
Stop! Stop! I won't spy on Portia for you anymore.
You bitch!
He backed off. Kicked me one last time, stormed out cursing. I lay on the floor, beat to a pump, a dead dog. Sophia helped me back to her place, cleaned my wounds, changed into a sheer nightgown, moved soft and gentle. But her eyes were full of teasing. She leaned in close, her breath warm against my ear. Thinking I couldn't hear, she teased without holding back. Called me a cute little preacher, said she'd never been with a man before, wondered if it'd be exciting to sleep with me. I stayed stiff, pretending not to understand, but inside I was churned. But then she said she's got a cleanliness thing. Her first time has to be with a perfect man, not a cripple. That word stabbed right through me. Just as she turned to grab the first aid kit, her back to me, I took a sharp breath and made a choice that could damn me forever or be my only way out. I reached out, grabbed her from behind, and yanked her tight against me. I came clean to Sophia, told her I'd been faking the whole time. After the shock wore out, we struck a fragile alliance. The next afternoon, I was woken up by yelling downstairs. Katerina and Portia were going at it. Katerina was grilling Portia, asking if she and I were just faking the whole marriage. Portia kept denying it, but that only made Katerina even more furious, and she flat out said I was the one who told her. My heart dropped. I'm screwed.
Don't you dare hurt him. He's under my protection now. You have a problem. Take it up with me.
Mum, we had a deal. Stay out of my life. I'll give you an heir, but you keep meddling again and again.
An heir? How? Be honest with me, Portia. You find that whole thing disgusting. You will never carry a child. Will you?
Dead silence in the great hall. I was hidden around the corner of the stairs, holding my breath. Then Katerina said, if Portia doesn't have a child with me, she'll have one with me herself. Words that shattered everything, leaving me stunned, my mind completely blank. Terrified, I ran straight to blood and sand to lay low. The next few days, Portia didn't come for revenge. Instead, she gave me a vial of life essence, told me to take it daily to build up my body. She was taking matching medicine herself. Was she actually serious about having a child with me? Shock and wild hope. I took those pills every single day, like a beggar waiting for a miracle, counting down to her fertile window. Maybe a child was my one chance to turn this whole mess around. Down at the arena, I started building quiet ties with Leonard, the night watch captain the masked woman had told me to find. He kept to himself, barely a word out of him. Sophia went back to performing every night. On the surface, everything was calm. That night, I got cornered in the back alley by Drake. Fresh out of the hospital, he brought 3 guys with him. Without a word, he hurled a stinking leather bag full of horse shit at me.
You little shit! Eat this bag of crap, or I'll end you!
I glanced at Leonard nearby. He was my only ally. But he acted like he saw nothing, just stood up, dusted himself off, and started to walk away. My heart sank. This is the guy the mystery woman told me to win over? A coward?
The hell you staring at, mute? Eat it now!
Humiliation, rage, despair, all churned inside me. Was I really going to be forced to eat shit? My jaw clenched, fists tightening, just as Drake shoved me down again, my face nearly hitting the filth. Leonard, who I never even saw come back, stood there with a freshly lit pipe between his teeth,
hands in his pockets, looking down at us like we were bugs. Drake paused, then started sneering.
Little coward grew a spine, you want a piece too?
Caelen, listen close. In places like this, the more you crawl, the more they treat you like a stray dog. Tonight is your choice. Keep crawling and live like trash. Stand up. Fight like a knight.
Drake was forcing me to eat horse manure. Trash-talking my little sister Arya the whole time. They had me pinned. I broke down on the ground in pure despair. Right then, Leonard, the night watch captain, came back. He moved like a furious lion, took down Drake and his crew in a few hits, then warned them. If they ever insult someone's sister again, they'd get 10 times worse. Before leaving, he wrote on the wall,
Helped you, 'cause you're still a man.
I knew it then. He's not simple. Once my cuts healed, Tarvlin called me in, pulled out a small crystal vice, clear liquid, smirked, wrote, Tonight,
Unlock Portia's bedroom door for me. Use this to knock her out.
Don't worry. She won't remember a thing.
I saw through it instantly. The sick bastard wanted to drug and assault Portia. I shoved the door wide open. He was staring at her unconscious form.
You fool. Portia is the one I've been planning to take down all along.
That look on his face. He saw it was me, glared, wrote,
You want to turn? I'll let you have the leftovers when I'm done.
I stood frozen, gripping the small bottle in my pocket. A third of it left. Tarvin's face went cold. He wrote again.
Backing out? Don't forget your sick sister. And your 100,000 gold debt.
Slowly, I pulled the small bottle out of my pocket, twisted the cap.
What are you doing?
He wrote, suspicious. I didn't answer. I lunged forward, splashed the drug straight into his eyes. He screamed, clutched his face. I grabbed a heavy brass ornament off the wall, smashed it into the back of his head as hard as I could. Bang! He stumbled, dropped. I was breathing hard. Cleaned up every trace. Wiped the drug, tied his hands behind his back with his own belt. Taped his mouth shut. Then I looked at Portia, unconscious in bed. I'd almost destroyed her with my own hands tonight. I leaned against the wall and put on the mask. Pale face, but the fire in my eyes was burning. I dragged him to a deserted spot, used his own memory crystal to record a warning, and told him if he ever touched Portia again, next time he'd end up a corpse. I ran home,
Hoisted the unconscious Portia onto my back.
and carried her to the abandoned mill. She stirred awake on my back, her expression dazed but bright.
Joker, is that you? You saved me again?
Glad you're awake. You were drugged. Carrying you kept you warm. She stayed quiet for a long time, asking me over and over who I really was, why I kept saving her. I never answered. In the night wind, I was the mysterious, powerful hero in her eyes, and she'd never know I was the mute husband she'd humiliated without a second thought. That contrast, that control, filled me with a twisted thrill. I stood up to leave. Portalpa suddenly wrapped her arms around my waist from behind, her voice choked with tears, saying she wanted to see my face. My body froze.
Portia, if you saw this face.
Would it break you? I pried her hands loose, shook off her embrace, and vanished into the dark. I sat at a street corner till sunrise. Back at the castle, I changed into the drug-stained clothes. Then I cut a deep gough across my chest with a dagger. Sharp, burning pain. It snapped me fully awake. I needed the wound, to sell the lie, that Caelen had been hurt fighting to save Portia. I lay on the floor moaning. Portia came home, saw me, froze for a second. She knelt down, raised her riding boot, and kicked me twice right in the wound. Agonizing pain shot through me.
At least a dog can guard the house. What good are you, you trash? A useless waste like you trying to save someone? Just go die.
I lay there, drowning in my own blood. Upstairs, I could hear her on the comm system with Sophia, soft and vulnerable after the scare,
Gushing about how brave the Joker was.
I wanted to laugh. All that came out was dry, ragged gasps, tears mixed with dirt on my face. Maybe I really should just die. I take every beating, every dirty job, For her, the hero she's obsessed with is just a sad joke I'm performing in blood. I dragged myself up, stumbled to the bathroom. The man in the mirror was pale, chest covered in dark, dried blood, eyes empty. I splashed freezing water on my face. Hard, I lifted my head. The look in my eyes sharpened again, burning with something dangerous. Chest wounds still bleeding. I curled up in a storage closet at Blood and Sand. Portia hadn't come for me, left me there to rot. Sophia pushed the door open, flipped the lock behind her, and walked soft to the bed. She lifted my chin with her fingertips, leaned in close to my ear, and whispered just loud enough for me to hear, complaining that lately Portia's been totally hooked on that joker who showed up out of nowhere, going cold on her. She wants Portia's attention back, and she needs me to help her do it. I started to say no, but then Sophia leaned in, all tempting like, saying if she'd wanted to hurt me, I'd be dead already. She wasn't just leaving me alone. She wanted to help me get back at Portia. I cut her off before she could finish. I didn't buy it. Her smile dropped, and a flash of hatred sharpened her eyes. I knew it was a deal with the devil, but what choice did I have? I reached out and took her cold hand. She looked at my hand, then back at me, and smiled, satisfied. Later that night, Sophia snuck over again, hinted that a crew of thugs was going to wreck Blood and Sand, said Portia was probably the one who'd given the order. I tipped Leonard off ahead of time. Before dawn, thugs stormed into Blood and Sand, wrecking the place. I hid in the bathroom but got cornered and beaten. The leader pulled out a dagger, sneering as he pointed it at my crotch.
Stop! You dare touch Portia's husband?
Got it wrong? It was Lady Portia herself who ordered us to cut this bastard's balls off tonight.
Fear choked my throat. The blade kept creeping closer. Sophia suddenly stepped in front of me. The leader clearly hesitated, thrown off. His men started whispering to each other.
She said her husband's useless. That thing's just for show. Always gets on her nerves. Teach him a lesson tonight. Make him behave for good.
I don't care what she said. I'm ordering you to get out as her lover. I'll deal with her myself. Touch him, and I swear you won't last a week in the north.
Sophia stepped in hard. Portia called the goons off. I went back to the castle with Sophia.
Portia sat stiffly in the hall,
face pale with anger. When she saw me, her eyes looked ready to kill. Thinking I couldn't hear, she snapped at Sophia, asking if she'd lost her mind, defending trash like me against her. Sophia talked smooth, said keeping me alive was actually better for Portia. After all, this useless, spinless husband was the perfect shield against Katerina.
Portia was furious.
But the logic landed.
You're lucky you didn't die today, you waste. Sophia, we'll go with Plan B.
Plan B? I glanced at Sophia. She winked at me, a small, secret smirk. Portia headed up to her room. Sophia pulled me down to sit beside her, lowered her voice, and explained. Plan B is actually good for you. Portia agreed not to touch you for now, but she needs a kid to keep her mom off her back, so... Portia's Plan B turned out to be a surrogacy scheme. The surrogate she found was Cynthia, a girl from my own village. In the cold, sterile room at the church, I was treated like an object, going through the collection process.
Portia never once looked at me.
Just talked details with Cynthia, then told me to get back to the stables. I dragged myself back to the castle's storeroom like a stray, collapsed on a thin mat of cold hay. Humiliation and rage gnawed at me like venom. I'd fought so hard, endured so much. I'd even let myself daydream about a normal life, about a child of my own with her someday. But to her, I wasn't worth a single touch. The only way I was allowed to give my seed was on a cold medical table. She'd rather pay a fortune, use a stranger's womb, than let her lawful husband touch her for real. This, more than the beatings, more than the insults, smashed whatever dignity I had left as a man. She wasn't trying to have a child. She was using this to declare that Saren, in her life, was just a disposable tool, worthless. I bit down hard on my jaw. A cold, twisted thought slowly took root. Portia, you're obsessed with that masked clown, aren't you? Soft for the mysterious savior. Ready to beg him for what you won't give your husband. Fine. I'll make you fall hopelessly in love with him. I'll make you pour all your softness, your hope, your weakness into a phantom mask. And then, when you're at your happiest, fully obsessed, defenseless, I walked over to the water basin. My reflection stared back, dark, hollow eyes. A small, cruel smile starting to pull at my mouth. Cynthia secretly aborted the embryo, got me drunk. We slept by accident. I had no choice, just had to pray she'd get pregnant naturally and keep it from Portia. Right then I got a message from Sophia.
Little monk, Portia hasn't visited in a long time. Come keep me company.
Something felt off. I went to her apartment. She wore a sexy nightgown, reeking of alcohol, and locked the door from inside. She handed me a glass of wine, asked me to drink with her. After downing it, she leaned against my shoulder, trembling and crying.
She told me Gawick had come back, tried to force himself on her again. Gawick, the one pulling strings behind the scenes.
Watching Portia, Sophia's old boss, I tried to comfort her, promised I'd protect her. But she just gave a bitter smile and said I couldn't even protect myself, that hiding behind my son-in-law title couldn't keep her safe. She leaned in, her red lips blushing my ear.
I envy Portia. She's got it all. A husband, and some no-name hero willing to wear a mask and watch her back in the shadows.
She told me how trapped she was. Just Gawick's pawn.
Portiria's plaything, an ally Saren only remembered when he needed one. I tried to say something, but Sophia cut me off. She offered a real deal.
Help her break free from Gawick.
And she'd help me win Portia for good. Her finger trailed down my chest as she said I must hate Portia too, that just making her love me before leaving her was too light. We should take everything from her, leave her with nothing, just like we are now. My heart hummered. The offer was insane, dangerous, tempting. But why pick me? She gave a sly, wicked smile, said we're the same kind, both of us clawing in the dark, both wanting to crush the ones looking down on us. And she believes in me, believes I'm the kind of guy who'd stab if I had to. And what I feel for Portia, it's not just hate. That twisted bit of care, it's my sharpest weapon and my biggest weakness. Teaming up with Sophia, we'd hold each other's secrets, keep each other in check. That's the strongest kind of alliance there is. I closed my eyes. Flashes rushed through me. Portia's icy face, the Joker's mask, Cynthia's eyes, my sister's sickly look. I opened them, picked up the glass, drained it, then clicked it against hers. Sophia, pleasure doing business. She smiled, all charm and deadly chill. Late that night, Sophia messaged me to come over again. I got there. She kept teasing, flirting nonstop. I was already on edge thinking about what had happened with Cynthia. Then sudden knocking at the door. Portia. I panicked, hid in the bathroom. That's when I realized. Sophia had known Portia was coming. She'd set me up. She wouldn't let me leave, wrapped herself around me instead. Just as Portia pushed the door open suspicious, she walked right into us tangled up. In a flash, Sophia switched faces, playing the victim, sobbing that I forced her. Portia exploded, knocked me to the ground, and turned on Sophia. Sophia played the poor vulnerable victim, explaining she'd been so desperate for Portia, and since Saren was mute and couldn't spill secrets, she'd made a mistake. Then she added she actually thought I was kinda handsome. Portia was so furious, she slapped Sophia across the face, then stormed out, slamming the door. Alone in the bathroom, Sophia dropped the act. I stared, stunned, and demanded to know why she'd set me up.
Having fun?
But she just sneered, saying everything she did was for my own good. I was still shaken after being framed by Sophia for cheating, but she explained it was for my own good. Once Portia finished the surrogacy plan, I'd be a useless fake husband, likely disposed of. By enraging her with infidelity now, she'd keep me alive just to torture and humiliate me slowly. That buys me time to plan a way out. I'd barely stepped back into the castle when I saw Portia's carriage crashed by the road. She'd been drinking and driving reckless, heartbroken over Sophia's betrayal. She wasn't seriously hurt, but she was curled up crying alone inside the wreck. I knew right away. Perfect chance for the Joker. I pulled on my mask, slipped into her carriage, held my fingers up like a gun pressed to the back of her head. She mumbled I could take all her money. I wrapped my arms around her from behind instead and whispered, I want to steal your sadness. I wish you could be happy. Portia instantly recognized the Joker's voice. Stunned and flustered, she quickly wiped her tears. I brushed her cheek, scolding her for not value her own life. She broke down completely, sobbing as she asked why I'd be so good to her if I didn't even like her. I stayed mysterious, telling her the reason I don't like her is because she's a married woman. Being good to her, that's my choice. Portia seemed stunned by my boldness. I told her to go home, but she refused, saying there's someone disgusting there, and asked me to take her to a hotel instead. The Joker carried drunk, heartbroken Portia to a private hotel room. I tucked her into bed, pressed a soft kiss to her forehead, left a note with my private contact info, and walked out. A perfect gentleman who didn't cross any lines. That pure, disciplined restraint buried itself deep in her mind.
After that, Portia, codename Rose, started reaching out to the Joker first.
Updated me on her every move, even talked about going to night training camp. Her tone got softer and softer, like a girl falling in love. I kept up the secret correspondence as the Joker. Half a month later, Blood and Sand reopened. Madame Sharon forced me to take a last-minute escort job. I showed up, and the clients were Lady Yoon and her noble friends, the same woman I'd slapped before. Their plan was to film dirty footage of me serving them, to humiliate Katerina at the Territory Council meeting. Big men held me down. No way to run. I had to play along. In the middle of that forced escort, I overheard a massive secret from Lady Yoon and her friends.
A secret that would become my key.
To gain Katerina's full trust, win her over for good, and flip every rule of this game. Lady Yoon was stilling a trap to kill Katerina. I bailed.
Used my Joker alias to get Portia to send men in.
Took out the mole inside. Next day, I stormed into the council hall in my mask. Foss was forcing Katerina to step down. I kicked the door open, slammed a dagger into the table, and growled that her son-in-law Saren sent me. Who said the Rose family has no man? The insiders flipped on the spot, backing her. Foss was done for. Katerina invited me into her study, her gaze complicated. She asked who I was, how Saren could know someone like me. I walked closer, explaining we are just friends. Your son-in-law is more interesting than you think. She smiled, asked if I was helping her or just returning a favor. I caught her hand as she reached for my mask, leaned in close, and whispered suggestively, that what I want, she can guess. Helping her keep the trading house is not all I am after. The air turned charged. Her eyes flickered, a tempting smile on her lips. She knew the game had just leveled up. I deliberately got close to her in the council, and she played along, shutting Foss down with just a few sharp words, smoothly diffusing the crisis. She asked again,
Who are you, really?
I told her I am a friend of Portia, but I have been watching you. Just call me Joker. Then she pressed about me and Polia. I laughed, mocking. Miss Portia and I are close, but I do not like them young. I prefer a woman like you, mature. A faint blush touched her cheeks. She touched my mask, asked why I wear it. Nervously, I said my face is scarred. Did not want to scare people. She nodded. Then turned and said she wanted me as her personal secretary. I was tempted but scared of being exposed, so I turned it down, saying I would rather just be her friend. Then made my exit. She called me back, handed me a gold voucher, the password, her birthday. I took it. Money. That is what I came for in the first place. Then she added me to her contacts. In the days that followed, I stayed in touch with both Portia and Katerina. Oddly enough, I ended up talking more with Katerina than Portia.
Portia was tied up with training.
Katerina had more free time. Messaging under two identities was a rush. Dangerous. Thrilling. Playing this big, one slip, and it is over. Right after I finished a message to Katerina one night.
Joker, get to the harbor now. I need help.
Portia called for help on the comm crystal. My blood went cold the second I saw the distress call. Then I thought about it. If she was actually in danger, she wouldn't only call me. This was a test. I put on the Joker mask, hit up my crew leader for a few men, headed to the rundown warehouse at the docks. They spotted her men right away. Yeah, it was an act. I told my men to back off, strapped homemade firebombs all over my body, charged in alone. She was tied to a pillar, yelling for me to run. I shouted back.
I'm here! And I'm taking you out of this place!
The bald leader demanded I kneel before he'd let her go. I glanced at Portia, eyes red, and pretended to kneel. But just before my knees hit the ground, I lunged, slammed into the bald guy, locked an arm around his neck, and squeezed the fuel patch I'd rigged, threatening to burn us all if he didn't release her. He didn't think I'd dare. The moment I lit it, he backed down. She broke into tears. After they'd gone, I untied her, Through her tears, she asked if I'd really die for her. I didn't answer, just patted her cheek and said we'd both make it. She looked down, said she was sorry. It was all a setup. I gripped her chin and told her it was a punishment. In my head, I was roaring, this scene. I fucking won. I told her it's scarred, that's why I wear the mask. She insisted on a portrait. I said she'd see it when the time came. Then asked, what if I'm ugly? Her reply, men usually disgust her, but I'm different. I tested the waters. What if I look like your husband? She shot back, disgusted.
Don't mention that useless waste makes me sick.
That answer dragged my heart down. She still despises me that much. She told me to meet her tomorrow noon at the Golden Rose Tavern for the surprise. I decided to go. Next morning, Portia woke me up and said she was taking me to a fancy dinner. First time she'd ever taken me out in public. I was hyped. Then it hit me. Her surprise for the Joker was at the same tavern, same time. Shit. Was she gonna put my real self and the Joker face to face? She handed me a written confession. A full character assassination of myself. Painted me as worthless trash. I saw red. She typed,
I'm dumping you in front of everyone today.
divorce in public. She wanted to crush me completely.
Get 500,000 when it's done. You cripple could never make that in your whole life. Take the money and get lost. Go treat your sister's illness.
500,000 gold. My sister's life. I held back the tears. Copied that humiliating confession word for word. Each line was a knife in my chest. While I wrote, she got dressed up in a stunning white gown. Drop-dead beautiful. I knew she'd dressed up for the Joker. I slipped my Joker mask into my pocket. Quiet. Followed her out the door. This little show of hers was far from over. At the Golden Rose Tavern, Portia announced the divorce in front of the whole crowd, held up my handwritten confession, screamed I was worthless trash. The crowd booed, laughed. I bit down and took every insult for 500,000 gold in my sister's life. Gawick and Tarvin shoved me to the ground, stepped on me, forced me to crawl between their legs. Cynthia tried to save me. They dragged her away. I snapped, bit Gawick on the neck. They beat me half to death for it. Sophia begged them to stop. Portia slapped her across the face, had her dragged off too. Just as they were about to drag me off, Isabella appeared, Iron Ange Wren right behind her.
This man is under my protection. He is my friend.
She spoke up, called me her friend. The whole place went dead silent. I went from gutter mutt to stargazer's friend. Portia froze. I was stunned. It felt fucking amazing. She led me away. By the river, she asked why I followed. I said thanks. She gave a light laugh, shook her head.
Do small people not deserve to be my friends? If I didn't say that, who'd remember you? Even the humblest should have pride. A stray dog can sometimes bite a mountain tiger to death.
I only half understood. As she turned to leave, I asked if we'd meet again. She looked back, warning me not to think I were safe. She might be hurting me. Hoped I'd live, maybe surprise her. No surprise, no more meetings. I smiled bitterly. Is she just playing a game with me? I pulled out my crystal, saw Portia's message to the Joker.
I've finally gotten rid of that disgusting husband. I'll make us official today. Will you have me, my love?
Waves of humiliation. I shook with fury. Cynthia was right. I couldn't be a pushover. Sophia was right. I'm not lower than these stuck-up snobs. And Isabella was right. I was going to be the stray dog that took down the tiger. I texted Portia back as the Joker. I watched every second of that little show. I'm seriously disappointed. Saren never did a single thing wrong. You took it way too far. I'm leaving. Reply came back fast.
I'm hurting too. I just needed you to know. I can throw any man aside. Except you.
Maybe you're just waiting for someone to change you. Came back instantly.
Joker, will you be the one to fix me?
Wait for me. I changed clothes, pulled on the Joker mask, headed straight back to the Golden Rose Tavern. I stood at the doors, fists tight. Portia, your Joker is here. Today, I'm going to make you watch with your own eyes the useless husband you throw away, rise up as a hero, and take everything you have. I slipped into the tavern wearing the Joker mask. Portia was on stage, eagerly scanning the crowd for the Joker, proudly declaring her love, vowing to marry him. Just as her hope was fading, I pushed the door open, walked up, and stood beside her. Her eyes welled up, she beamed. hooked her arm in mine, and announced to the whole room exactly who I was.
This is the man I love! Will you marry me?
I almost ripped the mask off right then. To show her the hero she so deeply loved was the useless husband she'd just divorced. But I stuck to the plan and gently pushed her hand away. Her face went pale, but I didn't look at her. Instead, I turned to Katerina in the audience and invited her onto the stage. Once Katerina was up, I took the mic and calmly told Portia no. The one I really loved was Katerina. The whole room went dead silent. Portia's face was ghost white. I slowly turned, met Katerina's eyes, and poured out the most heartfelt confession, staring right at her. Portia looked shattered. She'd braced for rejection, but never imagined I'd be in love with her mother. Katerina's cheeks flushed, basically admitting I had a chance. I kept pouring my heart out to Katerina. Chaos below. Katerina hurriedly said we should step down. Portia lunged to hit me, but Katerina stopped her. Seems she really did have feelings for the Joker. Finally, I told a broken Portina I'd disappear. Hoped she'd take care of herself from now on. Then, under everyone's stunned stares, I turned and walked out. Back at the castle, waiting for the 500,000 gold coins.
Porta!
Portla and Katerina returned.
You're trash!
Portla grabbed my hair, called me trash.
Is this how you feel better? Bullying a crippled?
Katerina stopped her, mocked her for only being able to bully a cripple to feel better, each word a stab. The two started arguing fiercely. Portla demanded to know if Katerina was aware the Joker liked her. Katerina's cheeks flushed as she admitted she knew, but not that her daughter liked him too. Hearing that, Portla snapped. She swore she'd find out who the Joker was and make that person's life hell. I quickly wrote asking for the money. She kicked me, calling me useless, but threw the voucher at me anyway. I grabbed my bags and left that home. At a nearby inn, Sophia suddenly covered my eyes from behind, teasing, asking me to guess who. Then she let go, winked, leaned in close, and blew a warm, suggestive breath against my ear.
Got kicked out? Don't go. Stay. I'll take care of you.
Sophia said she'd take care of me, and I was tempted. Being with her felt easy.
Don't worry about it.
When we got to her place, she told me she'd just been released after getting caught, and came straight to me. That warmth hit me. I thanked her seriously, promised I'd pay her back. She just smiled lightly. I was afraid she knew about the Joker. I tested the waters. She called the Joker a big bastard, but felt something was off. Suspected he had a grudge against Portia, was deliberately provoking her. White heart dropped. This woman's too sharp. But she laughed and said forget all that. Other people's heroes didn't matter. She had her own little hero. Me. I almost blurted out. I am the Joker. I'll be the hero just for you. But I held back. The Joker's in the past. I just want to start over. I hate myself for not being able to protect her. Gawker suddenly started banging on the door. I hid in the liquor cabinet. But he knew I was there, charged right in.
Sophia, I'm disappointed. Falling for a cripple? I'm here to catch you two, taking that trash with me.
I burst out of the cabinet, tackled him. Then more guys rushed in, threw a sack over my head, and dragged me off. I was dragged to an abandoned factory. Gawker held a knife to my throat. Beside him stood a man in a Joker mask. Kevin. They were planning to impersonate the Joker to trick Portia, while using me to threaten Sophia. Gawker made a video call to Sophia, the blade pressed to my neck. Sophia saw and started sobbing. Then Gavik Xmir dragged the knife across my throat, shifted it to my pinky, and hacked it off. Sophia screamed wildly.
Sophia, you brought this on yourself. I'll make you watch him bleed out.
Don't! What do you want me to do?
Get Portia to Moonlight Garden tonight. If you can't, I'll start with his fingers. He didn't even blink. This guy might not be simple. Sophia, sobbing, agrees. I'm desperate, but I can't speak. Kevin and Govler leave, 4 guards watching me. Portia and Sophia are in danger any second. My mind's on fire. Just as I'm debating whether to break my silence and bluff, the factory doors smash open. Leonard stands silhouetted in the doorway. After Leonard saved me, I begged him to help rescue Sophia and Portia too. He refused, but handed me a letter from Isabella. She said she was hurting me but gave me a chance and told Leonard to look after me. My head's a mess. What does she want? Just bored, watching the show? Leonard parked outside Moonlight Garden, tossed me a spiked club, and kicked me out of the car. Told me to save them on my own. Warned that on a narrow road only the brave win the prize. Lose, and I'm not cut out for it. I gripped the club tight, one thought burning in my head. Sophia, Portia, I'm coming. Today, I'm done playing the coward. I crept upstairs, saw them drogued, being dragged to the 3rd floor by a few drunks. Soon, the fake Joker Kevin rushed into Portia's room to save the day. I charged in with the spiked club, just in time to see him about to kiss Portia.
Damn it! I nearly died for one kiss, and you're trying to slide right into home base?
I burst in, smashed him down with the spiked club. Portia saw it, yelled at me, calling me useless, demanded to know how I dared touch her man. Was I trying to get myself killed? She forgot I'm mute, fumbled for parchment to write me an insult. I'm risking my life to save you, and you're cursing me out? My heart froze, but today I'm all in. I stomped on Kevin, ripped off his mask. See clearly. I am the Joker. I lunged at Kevin, but he shoved me off. I stunned him again with the spiked club, but a sharp pain exploded in the back of my head. Portia had smashed a vase over me. She snarled a warning. Hurt Kevin, and she'd end me. Completely forgetting I'm mute. I licked the blood off my hand, shoved her back onto the bed, ripped off Kevin's clown mask, and put it on my own face. Portia froze, struck dumb. I gripped Kevin's throat, voice ice and cold. The Joker isn't just anyone to copy, I'm the one and only! After I roared, the room fell dead silent. Portia's comm crystal clattered to the floor, her face ghost white. I walked to the bed, pinned her down, stared into her eyes, and confessed. I am the Joker. Her whole body shook. I went on. Today, this guy tried to trick you, pretending to be me. I came to save you, and you hit me with a vase. A drop of blood from my forehead fell onto her neck. I wiped it away lightly, but it doesn't matter anymore. I don't hate you. From today, the Joker is gone. I hoisted her onto my back. Her body went rigid. For the first time, she called my name without contempt, asking what I was doing. I said I was taking her away from this dangerous place. A shiver ran through her. Clearly, she hadn't expected me to still save her. I think I'm a fool too, but I can't bring myself to be ruthless, and I asked, Am I the same Joker smell carrying you now? She stammered, gave no answer. Outside Sophia's room, I heard Gowik's lewd laugh and Sophia's tearful pleas. I kicked the door in, hit it Gowik unconscious, stomped on his gut, and roared,
How dare you touch Sophia! Go to hell!
Hearing my voice, Sophia's eyes lit up, a relieved smile breaking through. I walked over, took her hand, and deliberately raised my voice so Portia outside could hear.
From now on, the Joker is no longer Portia's great hero.
He's just Sophia's little hero.